Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the What Would You Make challenge. It is my favorite challenge, so I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda, and if you're returning, you know I appreciate you all so very much. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number one. So for this DIY, I'm going to use two of these 30 millimeter half beads I got from Amazon. These little bow tie sticks from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to use just some leaves off of this pick, and then one of these floral wire pieces that I got from, I believe, Walmart. And then this sign, actually, you guys, I got this sign at Dollar Tree. It was 50 cents. I couldn't believe it. Anyways, my antique wax and Waverly chalk paint in the color white and in the color Maize. So I'm going to start off by painting the front and the back of this tag sign with my white. And then I took these little bow tie sticks and I'm just cutting them in half with my miter shears here. You can use scissors too. They are thin enough to cut with scissors. And I'm sorry, I think I did maybe 25 of them. I don't remember how many for sure. Maybe it was more. But then once I had them all cut, I did lay them on some painter's tape and then painted them with my maize color. Then I took my half beads and I just covered them with my antique wax. And then here I'm just kind of placing them where I want to be. Now, if you can see, I'm actually putting these on the front. I was totally going to put this on the back of it. And then after I had them glued on, I realized, oh my goodness, it's on the front, but it still looks good. You can't see that octopus that was on it before. I've painted these before and you could still see the octopus, so I was really glad I couldn't see it. But anyways, I took my wood glue and hot glue, put it on the back of the half bead, stuck it in the middle, and then I'm just going to again use wood glue and hot glue to glue those little sticks all the way around my half bead, just like you see me doing right there. Then I took another row of them and I'm doing the same thing with both glues, and I'm just laying them on top right in between the opening of each one of those to make it look more like a sunflower. And you can see there where I have them all on my painter's tape when I painted them. That just makes it so much easier. And then after that, I did the same thing for a second one, and then I took this floral wire, cut it to the size I needed, added some hot glue and glued it down to the front. And then I'm just gluing the leaves in place like you see me doing right there. I probably should have just done one of these and then maybe put a saying, because it is kind of tight on space there. That's why I was putting the leaves way down where they were. But I still like the way this turned out. But I did the same thing with the smaller flower. Now I'm taking some buffalo check ribbon and I'm just gluing a little bit to the back, and then I'm just kind of tacking it down so that it goes right over the edge of those stems. And then I'm just going to glue the other end to the back as well. Now I know I'm going to add some sunflower ribbon, and I know you can't really see the buffalo check, but I just liked how it was black around the edges above and below that sunflower ribbon, and I really liked that way that looked. So I'm taking my antique wax here. Of course, I had to give it a little distressing. I think this just gave it a lot more character, brought it to life a lot more. So I'm just going around all of those petals with my antique wax, and then after I was done with that, I just did a little light distressing all the way around my sign, because for me it was just too white and I just felt like it needed some distressing. Now again, if you don't like distressing and want to make something like this, make it your own. You don't have to do the distressing, but I like the distressing and it just makes it look a little more rustic, and I really like that. So once I was done with that, then I'm going to take some of that that buffalo check ribbon, and I cut it down. I'm gluing the ends together, and then I just move that to the back for a hanger, and there it is. I love how this came out. It was so much fun to do. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, so today is the What Would You Make challenge, and every month on the fourth Sunday of the month, this challenge is for those who would like to use wood making DIYs, and it's hosted every month by my friends Zaina at OK at Home and Connie with Connie's Woodshop and DIYs. This month's guest host, my other friend Amanda with 6 kids and a glue gun. So make sure you check out their channels, show them some love, and then check out the playlist to get all kinds of inspiration for wood projects. Here's DIY number 2. By the way, I will have those links in my description box. Okay, here we go with Waverly chalk paint in the color white and antique wax. I'm also going to use some of these beautiful sunflowers I just got recently at Dollar Tree. They are the mini sunflower bush, beautiful colors. And then I'm going to use 4 tumbling tower blocks. And I'm going to use one of these wood crates from Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to use some of this fabric that I also got from Dollar Tree, and then this truck from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off, I removed the hanger, I removed the tag from the back, and I'm just using my heat gun and my paint scraper to try and take this, what do you call it? It's not a bumper. Oh, I can't think of it. This wheel cover off. But it was really hard to get off. I was really afraid of breaking it, so I was trying to do it really slow. So I decided to only take that one off and try something different on the other one. So I'll show you what I did. So then I took my spackling here, and I am just going to fill those holes with the spackling because we're going to paint over it. And then I took my antique wax, and I'm just going to use a brush here and go over my whole truck with that wax, just like you see. And then I just take a napkin, wipe off the excess. I'm going to use that wax in between the little side riser things. I can't think of what they're called either. But anyways, I'm going to use my napkin to wipe that off. And then I'm going to do the front part of the truck. And then I will get that all wiped off as well. If my husband was here, he could tell me what the names of all those pieces are, but, you know, I'm not that much into trucks and cars. So once I had that part all done and all wiped off, as you can see, I just kind of went around under those wheel covers. I'm painting I'm calling them wheel covers, whether that's what they are or not. That's what I'm calling them. I'm painting them white with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white, of course. And then I'm painting the inside of the wheels with the white as well. Then I thought, oh, you know what? I painted the inside, or I painted those they're not sideboards. I don't know, but then I painted those white. Then I realized, you know what? I need my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink to paint the tires. So that's what I did. I grabbed that, and then I'm just going around and making it as round as I can so that it looks like a tire. And after that, I'm going to take my antique wax, and I'm going to cover that crate and the tumbling tower blocks with my wax, doing the same thing, brushing it on and wiping it off with some paper towels. Then I took some fabric here and I laid it on top of my wheel covers, and I'm taking a pin and I'm just kind of tracing it out so that I know where to cut it. And that was the whole reason why I took it off, the other one off, was because I thought it would be easier to lay it on the fabric. But this was actually much easier than trying to take it off. So I'm going to use some Mod Podge here on the wheel cover, and then I'm going to lay my fabric right on it. And I was looking at that for a minute, I thought I had it backwards. Then I realized, oh no, it works. And then I'm just going to, once I had it all on, I just covered it again with Mod Podge. And then I did the same exact thing with the one that had taken off. And once I had them all done and they were dry, I'm going to use my wood glue and my hot glue here to attach this one back onto the truck right where it was before. Look how cute that is. After that, I took some wood glue here and I'm putting it on the back of my crate, and then I'm going to add some hot glue. Again, the wood glue is for permanent hold and the hot glue is for immediate holds. And I'm just going to place this on the back of my truck right where you can't see it. Then I took these tumbling tower blocks and I'm using wood glue and hot glue to glue them onto the very back of or sorry, the bottom of my crate. So that way it will stand. It has little legs on the back and it will stand. And I made something like this on my very first year that I did videos for lemons, but I used the crates that have openings, and I used some little skewers that went through the holes that stood them up. But I tell you, they break off every year. I take them out and I have to reglue them. So I thought maybe this might last a little longer. So then I just put some floral foam inside my crate and filled it with sunflowers, and there it is. I actually added a little sunflower to the door. I was going to put a little sign on it that said, you know, like sunflowers, 25 cents or whatever, but I couldn't find any of my little signs. So I just went with that sunflower in the door. You have to let me know what you think about it. I think it's adorable. Okay, I want to thank all of you guys. You guys, I just reached 15,000, and it's all because of you guys, and I appreciate you all so much. If you're new here and you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. And then again, guys, make sure you guys give me that thumbs up, comment, and watch those ads. That really helps my channel grow. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find the links to those accounts in the description box as well. And stay tuned, you guys. I will have a giveaway coming up very soon since I reached that 15,000. Okay, here's DIY number 3. I'm going to use this beautiful napkin I just recently got from decoupagenapkin.com. I'm going to use this sign from Dollar Tree and then some Mod Podge, of course. And I do add a few things in a little bit, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do exactly with this when I was showing this. So I'm going to start off by adding my Mod Podge right into the middle of my sign. I'm just going to go over all of it with my Mod Podge. And then after I have it all covered, I do set it aside to dry. And yeah, here we go. Just painting on my Mod Podge. Okay, so then while it was drying, I took my napkin and I'm just cutting it in half. And I just love this napkin. I think it's so pretty. I want to do something else with it. I'm not quite sure what yet, but I just love it. Anyways, I am just going to remove the backing. Now with decoupagenapkin.com's napkins, they have 2 plies on the back. They're very good napkins, you guys. They're good quality. And I'm just removing both backings, and then I'm going to lay them out onto my sign. And I do cut off some more of another napkin and add it there. But before I do that, I'm going to get my parchment paper. This is just regular parchment paper that you get in your use in your kitchen. And I'm using my heat press, and I'm just going over that napkin so that way it reactivates the Mod Podge and then causes that napkin to stick to our surface. And then once I had it all done and covered, I am going to trim this off. Now I should have, as you can see, my little knives there. Well, I need new blades because I was trying to cut it and it was ripping it. Here you can see me adding the other piece of the napkin. But before I added the second layer of Mod Podge, I should have cut down that rest of that napkin because I got Mod Podge on it and it was sticking to the side when I was done, and I had a heck of a time getting it all off. So I would recommend just cutting it all down. Using a sharp little, what do they call those? Oh my goodness. It's not box cut, X-Acto knife. There you go. And anyways, you won't have that problem if you make something like this. So I'm just covering the top of the napkin with the Mod Podge. That just protects that napkin from any kind of rips. And then I will set it aside to dry. Once it was dry, I tried using those X-Acto knives, but again, I have to find I know they came with some extra blades. I have to find them. But I did get all that excess cut off. So then I decided, you know what? This sign is not wood, and this is a wood project. What am I thinking? So I grabbed this Grateful Wood word here from Hobby Lobby. I got this last fall, and I think they have them every year. And I'm just painting it with my ivory chalk paint by Waverly, making sure to get in between each letters and inside all the openings. And then once it was dry, I'm going to add that to my sign. Now, I had all kinds of sunflower ideas for this video, and then I realized, wait, that's not made of wood. Oh, I can't do that. It's not made of wood. So I will have another sunflower video for you guys. I can't wait to make it. I've got all kinds of ideas, so I'm excited to make those. And that will come up really soon. So I did distress that Grateful because I just, again, felt it was too stark. It needed some distressing. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to do my usual thing. I'm going to hot glue some of this a braided jute cord that I get from Amazon all around the edge. It helped cover because when I was trying to cut it, the napkin, it did tear a little bit, so I thought this would cover that as well. Plus, you guys all know I love using this stuff to make a trim. I think it gives it a little bit of more of a rustic farmhouse look, and I just love using it. So I just went all the way around the sign with that cord and just hot glued it in place. And then once I was done, this is where I decided to use some of these glue dots, but I ran out all the little dots. So I'm just using the pieces that went around the dots because they're sticky too. So I am just cutting them down to fit behind my word grateful. And I am going to lay that right in place, right in the middle of my sign. And then I was like, okay, it needs something else. What else does it need? So I took some more of that twine and I am just taking it to make a bow, just a little shoestring bow. And then I'm going to hot glue it in place. But I felt like it still needed something else. And I was trying to think of what I had. And I had these little sunflowers I got this summer from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to hot glue them, one on each side of that bow. I wish I would have had some that had more of the orange or the pinkish color or white, but that is what it is. But I love the way this came out. I love that napkin. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, it is a time for celebration of your recreation. And Maggie sent me this beautiful little sign that she made. I love it. It's just gorgeous. Thank you so much, Maggie. And then we have these really pretty signs that Jane has been creating. I love them all. Thank you so much, Jane. And then we have these gorgeous, oh my goodness, rustic, primitive gingerbread pieces. I loved them, Kathy. And then Donna, she made these for her niece's birthday. They are so sweet. Thank you so much. And then we have May. She made this adorable little charger with that plate that looks like Oliver. Check her out. She's Craft Away with me if you haven't already. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase for you, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger, and I'd be more than happy to showcase them here for you. Okay, here's DIY number 4. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. I am going to use some of my Arteza paint markers. These are some sunflowers from Dollar Tree, and these are blocks from Five Below. And I love them because they're big. And then I got this sign last fall at Family Dollar. So I'm going to start off by painting the blocks and that sign white. And I painted the front and the back, everything white. Once I was done with it and it was all dry, I took my Arteza paint marker and I am just coloring in all the leaves with the green here, just like you see. Now, it was kind of hard to tell which ones were leaves and which ones were part of the flowers, but I wasn't too worried because I'm going to cover those flowers up. Then I thought, okay, I want to paint those flowers. So I took this gold marker because I didn't want bright yellow, and I colored them in thinking it might blend in well. And then I hot glued the sunflowers in between them. And I just thought, no, I see too much of the gold. So I added a couple more sunflowers. I thought that would help kind of cover it in a little bit more. Plus I liked having the 5 there. But I could still see tips of that gold. So I took my one of my orange Arteza pen markers and I colored in those tips that I could see, and it really helped blend in a lot better. And then because these flowers are a lot more orange than they are yellow, I took my Decor Americana Spiced Pumpkin acrylic paint, and I am just going to paint over the blessed word. And no matter how hard I tried, I was getting it all over my white sign. So I did go back later when I was all done and touched up all the paint marks. Then I also took my paint and went around the edge of the frame. And as you can see, I got paint on my white. I knew that was going to happen. Anyways, I went ahead with the same thing here. It just gives it, for me, adding this twine here just seems to give it a little more dimension, a little more of a farmhouse country look. I don't know. I just love it. So that's what I do. Then I was going to put a bow on there, but I decided not to. I took some of this raffia. I'm going to tie a knot right in the middle, just like you see. And then I'm going to hot glue this in the middle top part of my sign. And I originally was going to add this here and then put the bow on it, but I didn't like the way that looked. And instead I took another one of those sunflowers and put it right on the top where that was tied in a knot, and then I trimmed off that raffia so that it looked a little nicer. Then I took my tumbling tower blocks, or my big blocks from Five Below. I put some wood glue and hot glue and glued them in place. It wasn't enough to get it to stand, so I added 3 more. I got 3 more out, painted them, and then I'm adding the wood glue and the hot glue, and then added them to the back, and then it stood much better. Now, I don't know why I did it the way I did. Normally I put them together and then add them, but yeah, it still worked. But anyways, I love this sign too. I think it's beautiful. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well, and which one was your favorite today, and if you will be recreating any. I'd love to know. So your final reveal is coming right up, you guys, and make sure you check out the playlist, Zana, Connie, and Amanda's channels. If you haven't already, subscribe to them and let them know I sent you. And then I will be back on Thursday with a collection video of my favorite fall DIYs. I thought this would be a perfect way to get started into my fall DIYs on the 1st. It will be our first official new fall DIYs. I can't wait. So stay tuned for those. And I will have a giveaway very shortly. So with all that being said, you guys, I hope you have a blessed week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.